Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I've had a week off, sorry about that. I went on a little hiking trip with my friends, great time, but I'm back and I'm here to talk Star Wars. Of course we've had The Mandalorian and Grogu just come out in cinemas, pretty good film, I did enjoy it. I am planning to release a kind of discussion video probably either late this week or early next week, but yeah, I'll go deep into our thoughts in that video. But in figure related news, we've had some Mandalorian and Grogu reveals from the Black Series, and also some different ones, but I'll get into those later. Getting into the first reveal, we have IG-11 in his Marshal kind of uniform. It's cool. Of course, this is from the end of Mandalorian Season 3. If you didn't know, it's kind of come out, there's been some set pictures that have leaked that IG-11 was actually going to be in The Mandalorian and Grogu, but for whatever reason his scene got cut or whatever. There's a prop of him, but obviously, you know, we got him in TVC, so we're getting him in Black Series now. But thankfully they've kind of like changed the packaging so it's just The Mandalorian instead. I think it's a pretty cool figure. I'd rather we just get the IG-88 reissue, well not reissue, just redo at this point, because it desperately needs doing. It's a cool design. I'm not that bothered because I don't particularly love Season 3 of Mando. If he was in the film, probably would have bought it, but if it's just like a Season 3 look, I'm probably just gonna pass. One cool thing just to point out though is that apparently he does have new feet. If you didn't know, the version that we got, IG-12 with Grogu and the Anzellans, the feet, you know, it's a good mold, but the feet were like a little bit loose, so apparently they've fixed that on the new version, which is good. But yeah, overall, cool release for those who want it, but a pass from me. Moving on to the second reveal we got, it is the mercenary guard droid. Of course, these guys were seen kind of protecting the Hutt twins on Nal Hutta, and I'm glad we're getting this because it's a cool design, and you know, they were kind of like the main army of the film, so I'm glad we're getting them. I do kind of wish that we got the Super Battle Droid like TVC got, but if this is anything like the Bedlam Raiders from like Jedi Survivor, we're going to get a ton of them. I wouldn't be surprised. I think the design's cool. The soft goods look great. I love how tattered they are. The accessories, you know, the staff, the blaster, pretty standard, but I'm glad that it comes with them both. One kind of nitpick I do have is the fact that it's using the HK-87 legs. They're just kind of awful legs, so I am curious to see how well this is going to stand. But I'm not going to pick this figure up straight away. I'm probably going to wait for a sale. Maybe half off, anything more. I don't really kind of want... Well, I don't want this figure badly. I would like it. I think it's a figure that I happily would buy, just not at full price. I think it looks great. The paint looks really good, and the weathering, everything like that. But yeah, it's a battle droid. Looks cool. Pass for now. Moving on, we have the Imperial Remnant Snowtrooper. Now this is probably the reveal that got me nearly the most excited. There's one other that got me really good, but this, I think it looks great. It's not fully accurate to Mando and Grogu, and it's also not fully accurate to ESB, but it's close enough. There's just a couple things missing, like just kind of like the grey square that's kind of raised on the kind of chest plate, but it's things that I can overlook personally. I think it looks great. It's going to fit in so well with the Mandalorian and Grogu display that I'm making, and Snowtroopers are like my favourite Star Wars trooper, so I'm going to pick it up. I love the accessories it comes with, the fact that it's got a kind of swap out head sculpt for the one without the cloth, and a swap out cloth to make it kind of look a bit more kind of like it's waving in the wind. The fact it comes with both blasters as well, unbelievable. I'm glad that now that the Black Series price has actually gone up, not in the UK, but in quite a lot of other places, it feels like Hasbro are putting more in the box and painting more, so like they're kind of justifying that price hike. But yeah, Snowtrooper, it's unreal. I'm glad we're getting another one. It does reuse the legs from the AT-RT Trooper, which is good because they are pretty similar anyway. But yeah, very excited for this guy. I'm probably going to get two. And then moving on to what I assume is probably going to be most people's favourite reveal, we have Zebralius from The Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm surprised that it's actually took us this long to get him revealed, considering, we've known about this look since, I believe it was the end of Mandalorian Season 3. And that was, 2-3 years ago at this point? But still, I'm glad we're getting it, because Zeb was an underrated part of the film. He didn't feel like he was kind of like pushing fan service, kind of like that. It felt like he actually had a reason to be there, without going into spoilers, of course. I'm very happy with this figure. It is a deluxe, and it actually justifies its deluxe price point. Of course, it is a bigger figure, it has a lot of paint, he has an alternate head, and he has two blasters. Of course, one in the configuration for it to be is like his kind of like staff, and then one in the blaster configuration. I'm very happy with this. I think this genuinely actually justifies the deluxe price point, which is another thing that I've been very happy with Black Series at the moment. It feels like a lot of the deluxes are actually justifying their price, which I'm very glad about that. Overall, Zeb is a pickup. I think he's going to go great next to Mando and Colonel Ward. And then, for my favourite reveal, we have Embo, based off his Mandalorian and Grogu look. Without going into spoilers, Embo, I think, was perfect in the film. I'm trying to think of a way to describe it without spoiling the film, but it felt, just like Zeb, it felt like he was meant to be there. He wasn't just kind of like shoved in or anything like that. I really loved his character, and I think this figure looks great. It's not too dissimilar to the Clone Wars design. Of course, it is just kind of like a modern interpretation. The main differences are he is missing the kind of red insignia on his chest. He doesn't have the kind of like shirt on that he usually has, and he, of course, is a slightly different shade of green. But I still think this figure looks great. I want it. I'm getting it day one. I have it pre-ordered at the moment. It is a shame that he doesn't come with Kaibu, but I'm sure we'll get him in some sort of way. Fingers crossed. But yeah, Embo, day one. It looks so cool. And I love the accessories he comes with. Of course, his hat comes off. He has his crossbow and the kind of detachable bits, which are separate pieces. Love it. Can't wait. And then for the final Mandalorian and Grogu reveal, we have Grogu and his kind of like little build-up pack. If you didn't know, back in 2019 and I think 2017, during the red and black box era, we got a couple of these little kind of like £10, $10 little kind of like build-up packs. We got a Grogu one back when the Mandalorian first came out, and we got one with Porgs as well. I'm so glad that we're getting this because it gives Grogu some of the accessories that he used in the film, like the kind of like walking stick, the water bottle, the cookies, and of course he has got his kind of like armor bit on the front. This is really cool. I will be picking it up just because it is £10, and it can't be pre-ordered. It will just go into stock and you should just be able to find it anywhere. And finally, we have two random reveals that just kind of came out of nowhere yesterday. and these are R2-D2 and C-3PO from the Droids cartoon. These are pretty cool, I guess. The card backs look cool. The figures are just meh. It looks like C-3PO has new arms, which is quite cool. Hopefully this means that we're finally going to get a new C-3PO, because we've not had one in, I think, since 2019, unless it was an archive. But yeah, these look fine. Cool that they come with like little coins as well. Not for me. Definitely a pass. And there you go, that is every Black Series reveal we have had in the last week. Are you going to pick any of these up? Are you going to pass? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.